What's up, everybody? It's Glenn back with Big Jack for another 2025 divisional preview. This week, we are previewing the NFC West. San Francisco, the favorite going into the season, despite finishing last, I believe, in the NFC West last year. Obviously, an injury-filled season for their team. Matt Stafford, some training camp injuries, but he's back at practice. How's he going to look going into this season for an exciting Los Angeles Rams team? Arizona, Jonathan Gannon, it's probably about time they start winning. They're the third favorite, and then the longest odds to win the NFC West right now is the Seattle Seahawks under second-year head coach McDonald at plus 500. Jack, where does your head go when looking at kind of a wide-open NFC West?
Yeah, it's been a competitive division for a number of years now, especially amongst themselves. They seem to beat each other up quite a bit. Like you said, the Seahawks popped a little bit more than I certainly probably would have thought they would last year. You were kind of on that one. You liked the Seahawks going into the season. That sort of bore itself out a little bit there. They're quite a bit more competitive than I certainly thought they would be. I don't see it so much for them this year. I don't know how much success Sam Darnold's going to be able to replicate. Obviously crazy 14-win season in Minnesota. Kevin O'Connell, I guess we'll see how big of a part of that he truly was, along with all the weapons they have and, that structure in place in Minnesota. Cardinals, I don't know how long they're going to keep hanging on to this Kyler Murray thing. He keeps you in games. He makes it fun on Sunday. I don't think he's ever going to be winning playoff games, making you a contender for the Super Bowl. So I think they're just sort of riding that one out. I don't think Jonathan Gannon's a horrible coach by any stretch of the imagination. I think he's probably done more with less than I would have thought about the Cardinals the past couple of years he's been down there. But yeah, you know how it goes in the league. It's so quick in and out these days. We'll see how they do. But it all goes to those top two teams. Everyone loves the Rams. It seems like that's like the sexy Super Bowl pick, like, oh, they got decent odds, they're going to make a run, blah, blah, blah. Sean McVay keeps doing his thing. That defense is younger, better. They still got Stafford running the ship. So my thoughts are kind of twofold in that. One is with Stafford, I think everyone's kind of putting a lot of talk into this back injury situation. I'm not worried about that at all. I think he's a veteran guy who's approaching 40. He was probably talked privately with Sean McVay. He's like, hey, how much you want to be involved in preseason? He's probably like, hey, let's, as little as possible. He's like, I know what I need to do by myself to be fresh for week one, and I'm sure that he will be. I am not overly concerned about all the lingering issues that are allegedly there with Matt Stafford. That said, I do think San Francisco 49ers win the division. I love them to bounce back this year. I think they get rid of a little bit of a distraction with the Deebo Samuel drama. I would like to think they have a healthy Christian McCaffrey. I also don't think it matters all too much as long as Trent Williams is healthy. They're going to be healthier on the defensive side of the ball as well. Brock Purdy gets that contract signed. I love the 49ers. I'm on the 49ers plus 150 to win the division. That's certainly my favorite play here. And honestly, I think the 49ers have a real good chance to come out of the NFC.
I like the pick. I'm not on it myself, the Niners, that is. But one bet I do see myself laying, I think I'm going to go on the under 8.5 for Arizona. 8.5's a lot. I just don't see them as a 9+ win team. You're getting plus money at under 8.5. I just don't believe in them. I don't believe in them winning 9+ games, especially in a tough division. I just don't see it. So I'm going to go on under 8.5 for Arizona. I mean, if I were to bet a division winner, I know this is crazy. I know I was on them last year. I go Seattle plus 500. It's a lot of juice. And, I mean, their win totals at over 7.5. I mean, they're right there, and they did some things with the offensive line. I think they're going to have a real offensive line. Darnold at quarterback. I could just see them being a tough team. I don't know. We'll see. The real bet for me is Arizona under 8.5.
Yeah, you always get teased by the crazy value of someone that you think could outshine where everyone else sees them. But yeah, that would be quite the shock. I mean, it happens. That's professional sports, and the NFL certainly with all the parity and the way things could break with injuries. But I don't know, man. I just don't I almost would feel better if they still had Geno Smith. I just don't. It's hard for me to wrap my head around the Sam Darnold thing. Maybe people say, well, he was a top pick. Maybe he just sort of took a little while to figure it out. Then, sure, fair enough.
Solid
I
Baker.
Suppose. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's not, it's not like there's no Jared Goff even. You could argue a little bit of, I mean, he did make a Super Bowl with the Rams, but there's certainly guys who flourish later on. It's hard coming into certain positions in the NFL as a young quarterback. You get on a bad team, and that's just the way it goes for a lot of those guys, unfortunately. But I don't know. I just don't see it I don't see it in Seattle. But, I got nothing against the guy. I'd be happy to be proven wrong.
What are your thoughts on the under 8.5 for Arizona?
I like that play a lot. The only reason I almost don't like it is because it's such a high number. It almost kind of gets the antennas up a little bit about what are they doing. It seems like they would love that action on the under. I'm surprised it's not like, I don't know, 6.5. So.
Sure.
But yeah, obviously I don't think they're gonna be very good.
Right on. Any closing thoughts on the NFC West, or you summed it up?
No, yeah, I think like I said, I love the 49ers. One side note about the Cardinals, I do kind of like Marvin Harrison Jr. to flash a little bit more this year. I think he was kind of quiet rookie season for a lot of the expectations. I still think that dude's going to be a stud.
Yeah, for sure. I see that too. All right, that's the NFC West preview. We'll be back with the NFC North, kind of our bread and butter. We'll be back with them next, wrapping up our divisional previews before we head into our classic best bets of each week video. So make sure you like and subscribe. Stay tuned for what we got coming. Peace.